Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we are going to be profiling Seto Kaiba's deck, the real life Seto Kaiba's deck. Or should I say, Seto Kaiba's waifu deck. Yes, I want to let you all know that the Dragon Maids are employed by Kaiba Corp at Kaiba Manor and work for Seto Kaiba and Mokuba. As you guys all know, Kaiba loves his dragons that are females, aka Blue Eyes Red Dragon, based off Kasara, right? And what are Dragon Maids? Females that are dragons. So, all jokes aside, guys, this being a Seto Kaiba deck, there are multiple different reasons why I built this. Not one of them being actually, it's my waifu deck. That's a different deck. AKA, if you're familiar with this channel, my waifu for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Akiza all the way, Black Rose Dragon. But, jokes aside, I built this deck because growing up in college, I loved Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maids. That's the reason I built this deck. And, you know, I got jokes from friends of mine. Hey, this is a Kaiba deck. This is Kaiba's waifu deck. You got to build it, man. And I was like, all right, I'll build the deck. Luckily, I got the deck for cheap upon initial release. Like things like Kitchen Maid and a lot of the Dragon Maids have just gone up in crazy prices for a fun deck, which is just ridiculous. But apparently a lot of people in the community like this deck, A, for the anime, B, it's their waifu deck, and for other reasons as well. I like it because it's based off an anime I enjoyed, and B, it's a dragon-based deck, which I think is really cool. And I like the mechanic as well. So, without further ado, let us get into the deck profile, guys. But I just wanted to clear that all up. You guys that are familiar with this channel know that Akiza is my Yu-Gi-Oh! Waifu. So, yeah. So first off, we run 3 Kitchen Maid. I'm going to let you guys know also before I get into this deck profile, I'm not going to go into super detail with combos and everything. This deck is pretty straightforward right now, even with Chamber coming out. And a lot of these cards are newer and more well-known, so I don't feel like there's a need to go into deep explanation mode like I do in some deck profiles. But Kitchen, she searches out your monsters for the deck and is really good. Definitely a 3 of in the deck. I definitely say... I mean, it fluctuates, but with the 3 ofs in your deck that are monster-based, Kitchen's definitely a 3 of, Chamber's a 3 of, Parlor's a 3 of, and Nurse is, I've seen at different ratios. I've seen people run 3 of it and 2 of it. I prefer 3, but let's continue on. If you had to ask, by the way, what is my favorite Dragon Maid, it's Kitchen. I like redheads. Shoot me. Next, we run 3 Chamber. Chamber is really a nice addition to the deck and complements Kitchen Maid because Kitchen searches monsters, Chamber searches spells and traps, and actually helps out with the problem I was initially having before Chamber got announced and was going to be coming out. I found out was the fact that you had to run more spells, maybe of the fusion, you know, so you may have to run maybe 2 of Dragon Changeover, which used to be like something we used to run as a 2 of before this, and certain other cards. And you got to add cards to the deck because it made certain traps searchable, which is good. Things like Dragonmaid Downtime, which is a nice little tech option in the deck. So it really helped out the deck being another complementary card that searches out a lot of your spells and traps because this deck has a lot of monsters and has a very archetype-based spell and trap lineup. So this is definitely a complementary to the deck. Really nice artwork, and I cannot wait till we get her dragon form, hopefully in the near future. So I can't wait to see what that looks like. Next we run 3 Parlor. Parlor is, I'm going to explain it the best way I can, comparing it to a generic card. It's sort of like a Armageddon Knight. Kind of. Because if you guys don't know what Parlor does, you can send 1 Dragon Maid card from your deck to your graveyard except Parlor Dragon Maid. So she's kind of like an archetypal Armageddon Knight, which we have in multiple decks. I'm kind of surprised she actually wasn't made a secret. I thought she was going to be a secret, but they made her a super. That's fine. But she's a definitely staple of 3 of, and she works well with Nurse because Nurse can help you reborn stuff. So that's why Parlor's a 3 of. It's essential because you can tutor things out for the deck, set it up in grave, reborn them back, and do little cute combo plays. Next we have 3 Nurse, and Nurse is super cute. I have to admit Nurse is super cute, but she's really nice in the deck, and I've seen people run different ratios because to utilize her effectively used to take a little bit more setup. From play testing online and a little bit in real life with some buddies of mine recently before I did this deck profile, I liked her as a 3 of. And initially, when this deck initially came out, I ran her as a 2 of, and then I said, okay, I'm going to run her as a 3 of because she's just so dang good. The fact that she can help reborn Dragon Maids back from your graveyard is really nice. If you guys don't know the effect, I'm going to read it to you very quickly. You can target one level 4 or lower Dragon Maid monster in your graveyard, except Dragon Maid Nurse, special summon it. So pretty much that revolves around all your low level Dragon Maids that we just went around. So Parlor, Chamber, and Kitchen. So works with all of them and is essential, I feel like, a 3 of, even though she does take a little bit of setup. So next we run, for your dragons, we run 3 Urs, which I feel like is probably the best one because of its ability to reborn stuff from grave, which is really nice. We have the red one, which is based off Kitchen, which I can never pronounce properly, which helps you give you a little bit of attack bonus, which is really nice to have in the deck because it can give you a little bit of attack. And then we have Lorpar, which is nice to have in the deck, and I'll try to fit this a little bit better in frame, but I apologize about the glare there. But Lopar is really nice because it's kind of helps you negate opponent's monsters, which I do like. So I've seen people run things like Laundry and whatnot too in the deck, which is something you could tech out as a 1 of. But at the end of the day, this is the big dragons I've run for now until maybe we get something for Chamber that can help out. But for now, I'm just running this, which works out pretty well. Then we have our one obligatory Red MD because this is a dragon-based deck that normal summons dragons, and Red MD is good. So we run the Red MD in the deck, hands down. Then for hand traps, we run a good amount. I run 2 Neberu. This deck is going to have a bit of problems with decks that are very combo-oriented and can set up big boards to some extent. So Neberu is a perfect card to go into this deck as a 2 of. Then we run also 3 Ash Blossom, which is a waifu on its own, quote-unquote, to some people, and it just helps you with obligatory just searching from other decks. I find with this deck, to some extent, I like going second. But I do like going first sometimes. So because this is a going second deck, that's why you see me running things like this. If you want to run DD Crows, you want to run Ghost Ogres, you want to run Effect Veilers in your deck, go right ahead. That's perfectly fine. But I like these hand traps because they just help me out, and they're very good going second base cards, and I always find myself with this deck going second and being a little bit in a better position. Next, we run 3 World Legacy Guard Dragon. This is a staple 3 of in the deck. It's a staple 3 of. You run 3 of this card. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's kind of like Return of the Dragon Lords is for freaking Blue Eyes White Dragon and some of those higher level Red Eyes Black Dragon and stuff of those type of decks. It's that good of a card. You run it as a 3 of. Next up, we run 3 Dragonmaid Hospitality, which is really good. I've seen a couple people cut this down to 2 of. I understand why. I like it personally as a 3 of. That's just me. You could run a different ratio if you would prefer to, but I like this as a 3 of in the deck, and I'm not going to go back probably from it. Very good card. Next, I run 2 Dragonmaid Sendoff, which I'm so happy they made this deck really super hollow, which is super cool to see. But Dragonmaid Sendoff is a 2 of in the deck. I've seen people run it as a 1 of, that's fine. But personally, I am more of a person that likes to run this card as a 2 of in the deck. For your fusion-based cards, I like running Dragon Changemaid and Dragon's Mirror. I've seen people run things like Super Poly. If you want to go down that road, go right ahead. I completely understand it because a lot of end boards, especially if you're trying to go second with the deck, especially this one, it's usually going to be a dragon-esque link monster. Usually. However, from playtesting, I found out a lot of times that wasn't the case as much as it used to be, especially with things people going for things like Access Code Talker and Appaloosa. As long as it wasn't a Borolo dragon, I mean, it usually wasn't the case. So at the end of the day, I decided to cut Super Poly. It's good in the deck, it works in the deck, but there were other cards I would rather run. I would rather run Nibiru and Ash Blossom and other cards like that, and things like Infinite Impermanence instead of that, because the deck needs some negation. So that's up to you to decide. But I just like Dragon's Mirror and Change Dragon because you can recycle this, which is nice. Dragonmaid Welcome is a 1 of, which is pretty good. There was a time I ran this as a quick 2 of. I like it as a 1 of. It's nice. And Monster Reborn because this is obligatory and it works very well with Parlor. So, yeah. Trap lineup, we run 3 Infinite Impermanents in the deck. Like I said, before we got our new Fusion Girl, we didn't really have any negation for this deck. And I still need some negation of some sort. So that's why you see me running Infinite Impermanents as a 3 of in this deck. That's why you see me running things like Ash Blossom. That's why you see me running things like, you know, freaking Neberu to break boards. That's the reason why you see those things. Then we also won 1 Dragonmaid's Downtime. This is a little tech option. I would not run this if Chamber wasn't a card. If Dragonmaid Chamber wasn't a card, I probably don't run this because it's not great. But because it's a searchable, I like it as a searchable 1 of. You could replace it maybe with some other cards if you want to, maybe an Upstart Goblin for a little bit more consistency. But I really like this card as a 1 of in the deck, and it's very nice to have. So I like it as a 1 of. On to the extra deck, guys. We have our our Field Center. And then we run 2 Dragonmaid Shirlong, which is really awesome. She is the dragon form to your Hospitality Dragon, which is really cool. She gives you a little bit of negation for the deck. If you guys don't know what she does, actually, I'll read that off to you very quickly here, if you give me 1 second. Dragonmaid Shilong, I can never pronounce it properly, so forgive me. You can negate the activation, and if you do, you can destroy this card. Also, after that, return this card from the extra deck. Return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon 1 Housemaid Dragon. So pretty much you're going to do this when your opponent activates a card effect. And it's very nice because it gives the negation to the deck. It gives you a little bit of negation, which is something the deck really needed. But I still run things like Infinite Impermanence and Neberu, like I was talking about. And House Dragon's good because you can go interchangeably out of them. So I like it as a 2 of in the deck. Oops, sorry about that. I usually don't do that. I usually just leave them out here. But yeah, we run that. So 2 of her, 2 of her. I also run 1 Predaplant Verte Anaconda and 1 Heraldic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres as some just generic Link 2s, as I'll try to adjust this here for you guys. Then we run 2 our Guard Dragons, Elpie and Pisti, which are nice to run in the deck. These didn't get hit on the ban list. I didn't think they were, but it was a little bit of a concern. In addition to these, we run things like Phoenix, Cerberus, and Unicorn. So these are just some other Link monsters we run. Pretty generic, the Nightmare package. We also run Blackluster Soldier, Invora Chaos. You can make this. You're not always going to make it, but it's there. And now here comes the expensive cards along with the Blackluster Soldier. Bull-Lord Savage Dragon, Axis Cold Talker, and Appaloosa, which is nice to make because it can give you a little bit more negation with the deck. Very expensive, I know, but you can run level 7 Exceed monsters like Big Eye, Red MD if you want to, which are nice additions. Or you can just run, you know, Borolo Dragon if you have that. You know, there's other cards you can run, but I have these. I'm going to run them in the deck because they are nice. I do go for them, and I like them in the deck. So, yeah, that's the deck in a nutshell. I do apologize at the end there. I picked up the cards. I usually don't do that. But, yeah, I hope you guys all enjoy this video, guys. Like I said, this deck is really fun. I mean, if you can't afford the expensive cards, like some of these here, like I understand, especially even Verte Anaconda, if you can't get that, because I know this deck is very expensive. So hopefully these get reprinted soon. I know Appaloosa just got announced for a reprint, and a gold series apparently coming up soon. So, yeah, hopefully this deck gets a little bit cheaper for you guys so you guys can build it in the near future. There's not a lot of deck profiles, I think, for that reason, because it's so expensive as a fun, casual deck. Nobody wants to invest that. But eventually I think it will all get reprinted and become a little bit cheaper. But I do love the deck, guys. It's a super fun deck to play. So, guys, until next time, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. Shout-outs to all my friends who watched this video because of the anime. And I'll see you guys next time. Go Seto Kaiba. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Take care, everybody. Good luck dueling to all of you.